Hi, this is yours truly, E. LaQuanda Whitehead Grady. I am the founder and CEO of the Alignment 828 Network and your alignment coach, where we believe and we know that alignment with your divine purpose and destiny will lead you into entrepreneurial success. These vaccine mandates, okay? The mandates as it pertains to businesses, business owners, federal government contractors, and specifically today we're talking about the airlines, and it's only coming to my mind because I just found out on yesterday and didn't realize it had become that severe. But what had happened is airlines have now began to mandate their employees to be vaccinated, and some have even been put on leave because they have refused to get vaccinated. As of right now, and I'm going to read you what I am seeing right now, according to WebMD.com online. Vaccinations have been mandated by United Airlines. United Airlines told their staff that they would be put on unpaid leave if they received exemptions. CNBC reported this, and the airline is in the process of firing 232 employees who absolutely refuse to get vaccinated. But the federal judge in Texas has temporarily blocked the airline from moving forward with this plan. So right now, United Airlines is in the process of effecting a mandate for their company. However, the Texas court has temporarily blocked that. And I'm going to emphasize the temporarily part because I don't even know how long he's going to be able to do that, simply because the mandate has come from the top. It has come from the government. President Biden has issued a mandate for federal employees to be mandated by December the 8th. So airlines are doing the same thing because they are in a field of service where they are servicing people who are flying to and from and being kept on close quarters for extended periods of time, and they want their flight attendants to be vaccinated so that they will not contract the virus nor give that virus to any of the people who are flying. So my question is, I really don't still understand why, if you're a flight attendant, if you're in the service industry, if you're in constant contact with people for whom you are responsible for their care and comfort, why is it a problem with you making sure that you are not the conveyor of or the conduit for things happening to someone else? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand why, if I am in the medical field and I know it's my job to care for the people that I serve, the sick, the elderly, the kids, even those who are most vulnerable, those who have sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, and those who might have low immune systems and so forth, why would I refuse to be vaccinated when I know that my not being vaccinated has a potential health risk to somebody else? And in this case, potentially deadly risk to someone else. I really don't understand it. I have a hard time getting with that. I really don't see it even now. I don't understand the idea of just refusing it. Now, I can see it and I can understand it if there are health reasons, which the airlines, some of the airlines, I ain't gonna say all of them, but some of them are making concessions for those who have a medical exemption. Okay. Southwest Airlines is giving their employees until November 24th to complete their vaccinations or apply for an exemption. And that exemption has to be for medical or religious reasons. And then with them, it has to be approved. It has to be an approved exemption. So they won't automatically be fired, but they have to apply for an exemption and then wait on the approval for that exemption to be valid for them not to be vaccinated. Okay, so they're taking a different route. They're still trying to get their employees vaccinated. Southwest Airlines is, but you're still having some that are saying, I don't want to do it. So if you're choosing not to do it, it can't just be because I want to rebel against the system and you just ain't going to make me get vaccinated. You have to have a legitimate reason. Again, the only thing I can see, is unless there is some type of medical issue you have where you don't need to be vaccinated, or because there are components in the vaccine itself that could be harmful to your pre-existing conditions or your health, then I don't see any other reason why you should not be vaccinated. I just really don't get it. And even with, and I'm sitting here looking, I'm scrolling through, so just bear with me because I'm scrolling through and I'm looking at it because I'm looking at different things that, different airlines, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and, United Airlines, they're all treating this differently. Delta Airlines hasn't yet started a vaccine mandate to comply with the government or the president's order. But they said that 90% of their 80,000 employees have already been vaccinated. So they are already headed in that direction. So they're saying that the necessity for them to do a mandate or to implement a mandate may not even be necessary simply because 90% of their 80,000 are already vaccinated. Well, that's a plus. That's awesome. Yay, Delta Airlines. Now you got to do something about the other 10%. So that other 10% is roughly maybe about 8,000 employees that haven't been vaccinated. That's what 10% of 80 is, right? 80, yeah, about 10,000, about 8,000 of their employees haven't been vaccinated. So by that other 8,000, then perhaps they'll do something to get that happening or get that done, or maybe those 8,000 will have a valid exemption. But they are also saying that in August, the airline announced that any unvaccinated staff would have a $200 increase on their health insurance if they continue to choose not to be vaccinated. And that would start in November. So they announced in August that if you choose not to get vaccinated, you're going to pay an insurance surcharge of $200 just to choose to not be vaccinated. And that's going to start in November. So then on the flip side of that, they're saying, okay, if you choose not to be vaccinated, okay, you're going to pay for it. Because if you get sick and you get COVID and something happens with you, then you're still going to be there under our insurance, and our insurance is going to have to kick in to take care of you, COVID, and whatever happens with you in COVID. And you're going to have to pay for it because you could have been vaccinated before this even happened. So each airline is choosing to handle things differently. United Airlines said they told their staff they would be on unpaid leave if they received exemptions. However, they were in the process of firing those 232 employees. But see, the unpaid leave situation, again, poses a problem. Now, Southwest Airlines, they're giving their employees until the day before Thanksgiving, which is November 24th, to complete their vaccinations or apply for an exemption. So they have until the 24th to get that vaccine taken care of, or to give a valid reason why they can't do it. Again, we're still looking at people who are in the service industry, who are in constant contact with many people. We're looking at the fact that COVID can be spread, even this Delta variant can be spread more easier than the COVID-19 virus itself. And now you're saying, okay, I don't want to be vaccinated, and I don't care if I can pass it to somebody else. You're not going to make me get vaccinated. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. Now, I'm going to tell you from my point of view, from my perspective, and this is just the gospel according to Elaquanda Whitehead Grady, Alignment 828 coach. This is me. This is only me talking. I feel like this, that in this case, in this day and time, we must consider our brother. We must consider our sister. We must consider our neighbor, our friend. In times like these, You should not want to be responsible for someone else's demise because you failed to take care of your health, because you failed to do what was necessary to make sure that you would not be a conduit for disease and for destruction in someone else's life and family because someone died because of something that you gave them that you could have been prevented. I don't understand why we can't be people who love one another enough to say, I care enough about you to make sure I take care of me. I care enough about you to make sure that I don't cause you to be sick or ill. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't understand. We all, those who live in industries where they are responsible, and in the medical industry, you have the doctors, they have a mantra to do no harm, and nurses and CNAs and RNs and LPNs and CNAs and anybody in the medical industry, they have to do no harm. That's what they're sworn to do. That's their idea that's what they live by. That's how they work. That's what they do. That's how they operate. And their idea is to help people. They should be in the industry to help people. They should be in the industry to do what's best for you, your health, your well-being, and to try to help you in any way they can. I don't understand why that doesn't transcend to vaccinations where necessary. I don't even understand how it is. And my husband was the one that he was like, I just don't get it. When someone in the military refused to be vaccinated, he didn't understand. Okay, you went into the military. You swore that you would put your life on the line. And even if that meant you going to the front lines in battle and it could possibly cost you your life, you signed up to go into the military or to go into the army for that reason. So why would you opt to not get the vaccine like you're afraid of death when the very nature of you going into the military is to face death or the possibility thereof? He said, I don't get it. And then they're hoping that somebody will come to his aid and get him out of it. And so that he will not have to be vaccinated. And my husband's statement was, they don't need to do that because you'll be starting something and people in the military will be able to refuse to be vaccinated. When they go in the military and they're going into other countries, when you first enlist in the military and get ready to go, you got certain vaccines you have to take. And then if you're going into other countries, you got certain vaccines you have to take when you go in certain countries. When I got ready to go to Israel, we had to see what vaccinations were necessary before we went to that country. We had to see and we had to make sure that whatever vaccines we were supposed to already have were up to date. When you go from one country to another, depending on what's going on in that country, you get vaccinated before you go. So why is it such a big deal about the COVID vaccination? I have no clue. I don't get it. When it comes down to life or death, we should all choose life. If it comes down to life or death for me and life or death for someone else, if life or death for me means life, if life for me means life for you, then I should be willing to choose life no matter what, for me and for you. And if life for you means life for me, and that means me being vaccinated so that you will have your life as well, or increase the probability that you will have your life as well as me having mine, then I don't see any reason why we cannot share in that together. I really don't. I don't get it. And as I have said many times before, and I'll say again, is that we have to be careful because this country, a democracy that it is, and government of the people, by the people, for the people, however that little statement goes, it being that type of government, and this being the country that it is, we have to be careful that in the process of asserting our rights, we don't do so in rebellion and to the detriment of someone else. Now that's where I stand on the issue, is we have to be careful that when I'm asserting my right to do or not do, to have or not have, be or not be, then that right does not need to infringe on your right to life liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It should not infringe on your right to be here and be alive and having that happy life versus being here, being sick, possibly at the point of death, or even debilitated from the illness because I chose to have my rights. The bottom line is we need to search within ourselves and determine, why is it that I'm fighting this? We need to search within our own hearts. Why is it that I'm fighting this vaccine when it could save my life? Why am I fighting this vaccine when it could be the very thing that keeps someone else from being sick so that I am not the cause of that? Why am I fighting? This country was founded in rebellion. I've said that before too. Maybe not on this platform, but I've said it on others. That this country was founded in rebellion, because we have to remember that at one time when slavery was the foundation and the growth of this country in the southern states, then you had the northern states that did not have slavery, and slaves were escaping from the north, from the south to go to the north because they wanted freedom, and there was a separation. You had the Union and you had the Confederates and you had the Union, and however history goes. And I ain't gonna tell you I'm up on all of the jargon and terminology or whatever. But I know you had the northern states and the southern states, and I know that they were split because one wanted the lifestyle that included slavery and the others did not. And so there was rebellion and there was a split because a split in this country because one wanted to hold on to a way of life and the others said that it was not right and people did not deserve or should not be kept in slavery and in bondage. And so rebellion is the foundation on which this country has been founded and built. And it was only in later times and after the government, the president comes in and he emancipates the slaves and says that no one else is supposed to be enslaved to anyone else, that, things changed, but it was not without people being upset because of their way of life being changed and some still trying to hold on desperately to it. You have to be careful that the reason you are saying, I don't want to be forced to be vaccinated, is not coming from a place of you within yourself not wanting to be told what to do. And now it could be to the point of it costing you your life. You have to be careful that when it comes down to doing or not doing, to do it for the wrong reasons, to do or not do for the wrong reasons, you have to think about whether or not this is something I need to fight. You need to figure out if this is the battle you need to fight or should fight. I've even heard, and my father was telling me this, that he knew of someone whose mother was in the hospital fighting for her life from COVID, and he still was refusing to take the vaccine. I don't get it. If you sitting there witnessing your family member, your mother, your father, your children, or someone that you know of that has fought for their life, maybe lost that battle, and you still are saying, I'm not going to take the vaccine, you need to examine your motives. You need to examine your why. You need to examine why you're questioning it and why you're choosing to do otherwise, simply because it could cost you your life or someone you love. I am a business owner as well, and my business and the nature of my business, I print for funeral homes. I print the obituaries for funeral homes, the programs for funeral homes, and so the funeral homes in this area and surrounding counties, I do the work for. And many of those that have come across my desktop with COVID were unvaccinated. unvaccinated. So now why is it that we have to say that we got to still question whether or not to get vaccinated when the likelihood of death without the vaccination is more sure than death with the vaccination? Now, I ain't going to sit here and tell you that there have been no deaths with people that have been vaccinated already, because there have been. But the probability of you dying without the vaccination is greater than not so much. We have to determine why we are choosing to take a stand. And to take a stand for the wrong reasons is the wrong stand to take. And we have to realize and recognize that when it comes to life or death and something that's going to cause someone else's death because I'm choosing to live my life and not worry about whether or not it causes your death, then I think we have to reevaluate the stand that we take and examine our why. So that is it for today's and my viewpoint on this vaccination situation, because I think we just need to examine our motives. I think we need to examine our why. I think we need to examine what it is we're doing and why we're doing it. Because at the end of the day, if we really truly examine it, then it might be possible that our why we're doing it may not be as strong of a motive for what we're doing. And hence, we might need to just change our mind and do what is necessary to not only preserve my life or your life, but the lives of others. All right, that is it for this mindset inspiration and for this broadcast on vaccine mandates. I am yours truly, Laquanda Whitehead Grady, Alignment 828 coach, founder of the Alignment 828 Network, owner of LQ's Desktop Publishing and Printing. Yes, and I'm your Alignment 828 coach. Here just giving you the 411 on you, your life, and business. All right, be blessed. Take care.